You know him as the face of the HEB commercials, working alongside Houston's greatest athletes, from J.J. Watt of the Houston Texans to Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros. He oversees a company that makes $25 billion and more, operates 390 stores across Texas and Mexico, is continually growing, and has caught Texas and now the United States by storm. I have the pleasure today of sitting with the president of HEB, Mr. Scott McClelland.
Well, it's an interesting story. I mean, I certainly am proud to get to do what I do and feel very fortunate to do it. My first job out of college was I worked for Frito-Lay, and I was in a management training program, but I drove a route truck and delivered chips to supermarkets. And so I started at the bottom level and worked my way up. I worked 10 years at Frito-Lay, and at that time at Frito-Lay, you either got promoted or you got fired.
After being promoted, Scott transferred to several cities, ultimately ending up in Toronto, Canada. It was there where he got the call that would end up changing his life forever.
And I got a call from a friend of mine who had left Frito and gone to work at HEB. And he said, "Do you think you'd like to go to work for us?" And I said, "I don't think so." But since I was living in Canada and liked Mexican food, I said, "If you'll buy me some enchiladas, I'll come down and interview." And I met Charles Butt, the owner of HEB, and I found him very compelling and interesting. And the next thing I knew, I was running 70 supermarkets with zero idea what I was doing. Didn't know what I got into. In the first year, was lucky I didn't get fired because I was unconsciously incompetent. And little by little, I figured it out. And now I'm coming up next month. I'll celebrate my 30-year anniversary.
2020 is looking great for HEB. The company rang in the new year being ranked #1 by a UK global consumer research company. This time last year, HEB was behind Trader Joe's, Costco, and Amazon. Now the company can say it has surpassed all three. But what is it that HEB did this past year to make it to the top?
I think all the credit really goes to our 121,000 partners who work at HEB, who get up every day and make a difference for customers. You know, I always say, and this is especially the case in Houston, where customers, as they drive down the street, oftentimes they can turn right into our parking lot or left into someone else's parking lot. And there's a reason that they make that decision. Low prices plays a piece into that, unique products. But I actually think, and there's not a better compliment that people can pay me than saying the people who work at HEB are just nicer. And when our stores speak to that emotional connection that you have with your customers, that makes a big difference. And I think that was a lot of why we're able to move up, is that it's our partners really making a difference for us every day.
Well, Scott, we're coming to the end of our interview today. Thank you so much for sitting with me again. And it's not every day that you get to sit with the president of your company, so let's wrap this up commercial style. I'm Chris.
And I'm Scott.
And
no store does more than my HEB.